HCB family, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, your home of pure rugby league. Hope you guys are well. Yes, it is I again, here to give you guys something else to think about and mull over and chew over. But before we get into it, DJ, hit that intro. Alright guys, here we go. Right, you've seen the thumbnail. You're probably thinking, what on earth's going on here? Be at rest, because this is a video here that is actually giving you guys my opinion on what the NRL have done and if they've done enough for the New Zealand Warriors. Let me take you back to 2020, round one. The Warriors were getting ready for another season full of hope and expectation, and obviously the second year without Shaun Johnson, just to throw his name in there. All of a sudden, news dropped, right? And I believe this was halftime during the game against the Knights, and it was a very dour game too, by the way. New Zealand had announced that the Prime Minister had announced that New Zealand would be restricting flights in and out due to what I'm going to call anti-Warriors 19, right? Or C19 for lack of a better word. Now, before I get into this as well, political comments will be deleted. So that is a warning. So this is not a political rant. Nothing at all to do with it, actually. So please don't throw any of that stuff there. And obviously, after that announcement, I was left there thinking, goodness me, what's going to happen to the Warriors? Right? And there was a lot of angst, and I suppose I was very nervous, very afraid. But then it dawned on me. This probably means that the Warriors have to stay in Australia. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. Literally, for the following from 2020, 2021 until 2022, virtually, when the Warriors were able to go back to New Zealand and play. That was basically our scenario. That was it. We were doing the NRL a favor, a broadcast favor as well, obviously. New deal and all that stuff there, and it wasn't a great 2 years, might I add. It was great in the sense that we were sacrificing our home games, that the whole spirit of, I suppose you could even throw in there the Anzac spirit was sort of there, and a lot of people were thankful, not just fans, clubs, and obviously bosses and chairmen and CEOs and what have you not. Everybody was thankful for what the Warriors did. And us as fans, granted, we were thankful, and I suppose results and stuff still affected us, but I suppose not too much, because at the end we sort of understood to a degree. So the first year of staying in Australia, I think, long story short, was more a year of like, all right, it is what it is, we'll get over it. Come 2021, and obviously, it wasn't a great year either, let's be fair. And I suppose roll in 2022, and it was up and down, but again, it was arguably the worst season it was, in my opinion, the worst season in Warriors history. The point is, Warriors sacrificed a lot, and the turnaround of 2023 happened, and obviously I was waiting on the fixture, because as much as the NRL and different teams have thanked the Warriors, I really wanted to see if their actions or their words were going to actually meet what they were saying. And in all honesty, when I saw the 2023 fixture, I was left bitterly and very disappointed. No, not because the Dolphins are in, but because the Warriors were not thanked much. Clubs said, or the NRL said, both said, they're going to reward the Warriors, home games and stuff like that. They're going to sacrifice home games. And they couldn't even do that. In fact, only one team has done that. And the irony behind it, the beautiful, sad, humorous irony behind it, is that it's the West Tigers that are the only team that actually gave up one of their home games to play in New Zealand. The reason why I speak passionately about this is because I don't think enough has been done. This may come off as a bit of a woe is me, and perhaps it is, but you know what? When you actually sacrifice and go away and stay in another country, your team does, and you have to witness them basically get battered and belted, not only emotionally, physically on the field, but also psychologically, you'd think there would be a bit of compensation. Right? No, not the case. So obviously we all know what's happened this year, the fixture, right? I'm not going to muck around here. There's only one team that really was thankful. It's all good and well to say thank you, Warriors, but give us a game. You know what I mean? Surely. Disappointing. It's disappointing. And I'm disappointed in NRL. Just to go off rugby league guru here, he said a comment that he didn't think the NRL did enough. And exactly right. The NRL got their money, and obviously the players got paid. I'm not going to say that the Warriors didn't get paid, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that. But when you have a huge sacrifice like that, you got to put into context as well. Would other teams be able to do what the Warriors did? Go to New Zealand and stay there to keep the competition safe. Do you think the teams, think of your team. If you're a person who supports an Australian-based team, think of your team. Would they be able to do what the Warriors did? In some shocking turn of events. Would they? Would they be able to stay in New Zealand without their wives, partners, kids, so on and so forth, families, days on end? Don't think so. I really don't. There would have been many teams that would have pulled the plug. The Warriors kept on at it. They kept on grinding. And us fans were left with very dour results. And obviously 2022 was the last year of what I call the absolute catastrophe ride of anti-Warriors 19, if you will. And it came to a bitter dead end at the loss of the Titans, obviously, in the last game of the year, which surmised, really, our whole stay, right? In the end, over there in Australia. It was very dour. And although the Warriors obviously have done what they've done, I suppose the gist of everything here, what I'm trying to say is, have the NRL done enough? No, they haven't. Have other clubs done enough? No, they haven't. And I'm not here blaming, by the way. This is not a blame game. As much as it is if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. Right? The Warriors did. They talked it. We're going to be there. We're going to save the competition. They walked it. They talked it. They didn't get much back at all, especially this year. I'm actually quite surprised. Although it makes me think about this. The NRL may reward New Zealand by giving us the second team. Now, I'm not saying that's the reason why, but it sort of leads me to that way of thinking, perhaps. If the NRL couldn't do it this way, they'll do it that way. And does that make up for everything? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge. But in saying that's just my little... I wouldn't say a rant as much as it is an observation. We did a lot for the NRL, and I know we're sitting there pretty in spot number 2 there on the ladder. So of course I get it. I'm not, but it also makes me think what would have happened had we were actually able to play games at home consecutively. You know what I mean? Had anti-Warriors 19 not happened, what would they have looked like for real? For real. Genuine. We'll never know. Right, because we spent most of our time there in Australia saving the competition. Is this a big controversial video? I don't know. Again, I'll let you be the judge. But yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're gonna walk it, if you're gonna talk it, you got to walk it. And I just don't think NRL or the teams did enough really to support us. And it is what it is, but it doesn't matter. We're sitting there beautifully at second place. And hopefully we can continue to be strong. But food for thought, I guess. Give me your thoughts. But that's it. Take it easy. See you guys next time. And just remember, hold the ball. Go the Warriors.